Meet a judge or meet your maker, said the Prime Minister to gunmen in Jamaica. Mark Golding wants to free up ganja if elected. 17 Haitians are deported while police dismantle a car theft ring. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has declared that the perpetrators of Monday evening shooting in Rockford, Kingston, which left 5 people dead and 2 injured. Holness said Dons are criminals and the shooters should be prepared to meet a judge or meet their maker. Holness made a comment during a visit to Pleasant View in Rockford on Tuesday. Here is the Prime Minister.
Before I continue, let me express my deep condolences to the family members of those who perished in this very brutal attack where 5 persons were killed. And as I'm looking at one of the cars in which one of the victims perished. The challenge that we have always had in communities like these is that there are persons who claim that they lead the community, that they have some leadership role, and they ascribe to themselves the title Don. And there is a battle for control, for turf. For many communities, the residents see this as just part of normal existence. There is someone there who is claiming to protect the community. There is someone who you can go to for immediate assistance. But I think more and more Jamaicans are realizing that these men who claim to want to protect the communities or call themselves elders or don or dads or whatever term they may choose to describe themselves, they are nothing but criminals, lowlife, people whose only intent is to undermine your security. And if they are allowed to do so, they will ultimately claim your life. They are of no value to the community. And it is about time that all members of the community realize that these persons serve no good purpose. They are criminals and they must be seen in that way. And I have said before, when a similar incident like this occurred in Cherry Tree Lane in Clarendon, that we will pursue them and the decision is theirs. Either they meet a judge or they meet their maker. I encourage them to meet a judge.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness as he addresses residents of Rockford on a mass shooting on Monday after a football match. The police said that 2 of the 5 men killed were aligned to gangs and said to be dons in the area. The community is now tense and the security forces are now bracing for possible reprisal. One of the shooters has already been cut down by the police and they are now searching for the rest. Meanwhile, Mark Golding, the president of the People's National Party, has accused the Jamaica Labour Party administration of enacting policies that have devastated the legal ganja industry. He stated that if his party is elected to the next government, the focus will be on reviving the industry. Golding maintained that in order to provide income for small farmers, the ganja industry had to be restructured. He said it requires a thorough revamp, which is what we plan to undertake in order for it to be a legitimate source of wealth creation, particularly for small farmers, many of whom established the industry in secret and endured oppression for more than a century due to prohibition. And we want to take it to the next level because the space has opened up internationally for more initiative in that direction. And if them free up ganja like how they do here in the United States, Jamaica could be as rich as Saudi Arabia, who get rich off oil. A group of Haitian asylum seekers who were rounded up on Wednesday night for a mass repatriation exercise have now been sent back to Haiti. Reporters said that they have obtained footage of the Haitians at the Brown Book Wharf in Portland on Wednesday night being boarded onto a Jamaica Defense Force Coast Guard vessel. The group, which comprised 4 women and 13 men, left sometime after 11 p.m. on a Jamaica Defense Force vessel accompanied by the Portland Marine Police and the JDF Coast Guard. And I've watched several footage of Port-au-Prince, the Haitian capital, and it looks just like Gaza, like someone dropped a bomb on the city. But seriously, Jamaica can't help them. So I urge the Haitians to head to another country because Jamaica themselves need help. It's the same corruption in the government in Haiti that bring them down that exists in Jamaica. The man charged for killing a woman and burying her body in Glengarth in St. Catherine was on Thursday remanded when he appeared in the St. Catherine Parish Court. Orlando Chin, 28, who is charged with murder and unlawful burying, is to return to court on December 10th. And he's charged for the death of 32-year-old Lisa Gay Cobre. It's alleged that about 2 p.m. on September 28, Miss Cobre and Mr. Chin had a dispute over a television remote. She was allegedly killed and Chin reportedly dug a grave and buried her body. She was subsequently reported missing by her family. and on October 7, Chin went to the police and allegedly confessed to the murder. And he was taken into custody the following day. He accompanied the police to the location in Glengough where the woman's body was found and later exhumed. A customer service agent who was charged with embezzling over $600,000 from her company was granted bail when she appeared in the St. Elizabeth Parish Court on Wednesday. Kadeen Campbell of Stevens Run in the parish is required to appear in Nain Police once a week as part of the terms of her release. Additionally, after Ms. Campbell's lawyer told the court that she wished to make restitution, the judge sent the case to mediation. On November 27, the parties are scheduled to appear in court again. And Miss Campbell, who worked for a courier service, allegedly fabricated receipts to receive full payments before keeping the remaining amount for herself. Meanwhile, a suspected auto theft ring in the Linstead region has been dismantled by the St. Catherine North Police, and this came after a weekend operation that resulted in the recovery of a stolen car and the apprehension of two suspects. Superintendent Hopton Nicholson, the commander of the St. Catherine North Division, said that the police have been making headway in apprehending suspected auto thieves. A stolen car, a gray Honda Fit with a registration that did not match its allocated number, was found by the Guys Hill Police Station officer on Saturday, October 19. And Superintendent Nicholson said the St. Catherine North Police have now recovered several stolen vehicles over the last few months. Onto sports, Jamaica Reggae Girls will face powerhouse number 10 ranked France in a friendly game today. And this matchup marks the first meeting between the teams since the pulsating encounter during the 2023 Women's World Cup in Australia, which ended 0-0. And the result had given the Reggae Girls their first ever point at a World Cup. Meanwhile, in schoolboy football, Jasford Gabriel, principal of Manchester High School, has leveled accusation of bias which he believes has given clear advantages to St. Elizabeth Technical High School in the Intersecondary School Sports Da Costa Cup football competition. Manchester High and STETHS, both runners-up in their respective preliminary zones, draw 0 in the round of 32 games played at the STETHS Sports Complex on October 19. And he argued that STETHS, whose principal is ISSA President Keith Wellington, were among three runners-up from the first round that got two home games in the second round. Gabriel, who was head of a high school, is a member of the ISSA, said he felt he had no other recourse but to go public after his efforts to address the matter privately were rebuffed. STETHS ended the preliminary stage with back-to-back home games, beating Newell High 6-0 and Zone E winners Monroe College 2-1. STETHS also played their first two games in the round of 32 at home, beating William Knibb 2-0 and drawing with Manchester High. And I have been saying this about this same ISSA president for years, that he set up the game to let STETHS have an advantage. And I've been saying this for about 10 years now on radio all across America. And finally, somebody come out and say it publicly. As a matter of fact, this is not the first person who has said it. He had set up a home game several years ago in a semifinals against, I think it was Port Antonio High, in a playoff that should be on neutral ground. And when Port Antonio, or the school it is said, asked for the match to be played on neutral ground, it was denied, and in disgust they did not turn up to play, giving STETHS the point. So STETHS went on to the next round. So it's a long time this ISSA president has been doing this. Meanwhile, in rescheduled games yesterday, Denby hit Homewood 4-0 to take second place in Group 5, while Happy Grove ran over Bel-Air 5-1 to take first place, rounding out the 16 teams for the playoff. And in Manning Cup, the playoff part for the round of 16 begins today, and there are some very good matchups. St. Andrew Technical, who have lost once, will face the unbeaten defending champions Mona, while Wolmer's, who have lost only once this year, will face off with St. Jago. And in playoffs tomorrow, the unbeaten Eltham, who have scored 33 times this year with only one goal against, will face Excelsior, who have scored 50 goals and have only lost once. Jamaica College, who have lost no game and scored 64 goals this year, will not have it too easy against Calabar, who have lost only once. St. George's, meanwhile, who have lost once this year, will face Campion College, who lost once as well. And in a very even matchup, Tivoli will play Jonathan Grant in a game that anyone can win. While unbeaten St. Catherine should have it tough against third place Charlie Simmet, who are known to have a deadly goal scorer. While a destructive unbeaten Kingston College will buck up in a Hydel KC's absolutely deadly this year, scoring 71 goals and could easily embarrass Heidel if the scoring boats get going tomorrow. And if you missed the news on this station, please go to YouTube, type in Jamaican Undiluted News, listen, like, share, and keep it going. And that's news and sports on your favorite radio station. My name is Mikey Bones. I gone.